Please read the disclaimer. What did the Fed just do that made history? How could this affect XRP? And we have a date for the next one. You'll understand soon. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. Check now if we're at 1,000 likes. I'm going to sip some apple cinnamon tea to get the throat lubricated. And now let's ride the roller coaster. Whoa, right? The crypto market has been a roller coaster. Yes, it has been over the past few months, up and down, mostly down. But currently XRP is sitting at $2.01, down minus 1.26% on the day. It did drop under the $2 level at 197 and change, but bounced off of that. Bitcoin dropped under 90,000 once again to 89,000, but again, also saw a movement to the upside. This coincided with the stock market, with the NASDAQ opening up to the downside and having a little bit of a comeback here. So we're seeing similar mimicry or similar movement between crypto and the stock market here today. This is interesting after the FOMC meeting and the decision last night by the Fed that we're seeing similar movement. We haven't yet experienced the Santa rally, right? Santa rally is usually a rally that happens towards the end of the year, towards Christmas time. And it hasn't happened this year yet. If we go back, and of course, crypto is down, but even the S&P 500 hasn't really experienced, it pulled back and now has recovered, but you can't say it rallied right into the end of the year. For example, if we go into last year, we had, actually also, there wasn't really a Santa rally also last year. Look at the whole December, it actually pulled back. So it doesn't mean that you'll have a Santa rally. This is just something that has happened in the past many times because of hedge funds and shenanigans and things that happen with Christmas bonuses. But we're not seeing it this year. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see a run towards the end of the year. Maybe we won't. It will be very interesting to see how the markets play out. Again, Ethereum pulling back 3% today after yesterday, and the day before was up a little bit. Something that is a little bit concerning to me, right? And I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Right now, when I zoom out and I look at the weekly, right? So the weekly also for XRP and also for Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum, not yet, but Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and XRP are very getting close to a crossover here on the 1348 EMA. And so this is something that we need to watch. But on the flip side, right, we are on the bottom of the stochastic RSI. So again, I'm getting mixed signals here. On the one hand, it looks like because we're in such a downtrend, right, and there's the moving averages and all that. But on the flip side, the stochastic RSI is telling us we're at the bottom and we're due for a turnaround. So the crypto market right now is very tricky. It's very confusing. And I admit that I am kind of perplexed with it sometimes. I understand why it's like this. But on the flip side, the other markets are doing much better, like commodities, silver, gold, even the stock market, and crypto is lagging behind. What do you think? Now, this is a question that Ron from Crypto Banter asked. He says, give me your best theory as why crypto is the only market not moving while everything else is at all-time highs or close to it, right? So my theory, right, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I think that the market makers got hurt really, really bad on October 10th. And since then have been unwinding. If you remember, back in the FTX scandal and Luna scandal, by the way, Do Kwon is having a sentencing today, so that will be interesting later today. But it took a while for us to know actually all the things that happened and all the shenanigans that went on, and we had Celsius that went under and others that went under. Right now, we're not seeing any headlines like this firm or that firm is having a big issue. But I think that a lot of them, maybe they didn't go totally under, but they had to sell off a lot of their assets. So that is my theory, and that's why I think that we're seeing a lot of it. And maybe even these market makers were manipulating the market to the upside. Well, now they don't have the liquidity to do that. Miners who are slowly losing will status. We've seen many long-term whales also for Bitcoin that have been reducing their amount a little bit right now, around 100,000. Liquidity is still low, right? We're seeing, because the market is down and there's not, these crazy 10, 15, 20% moves, people are less interested in the crypto market. And so that affects as well. And we are seeing also all this shenanigans every single day, with Jane Street, and we saw like at 10, we saw these sell-offs, right? An hour into the market and all that, or a pump, right? Exactly on the hour. So that is also, affecting people and how they, react and how they look into the market. By the way, it happened today again, right at that time, around 5, right? My time, we saw a big sell-off, right? And then it came back. So again, a lot of these factors are what's happening. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think is the reason why the market has been such a dud, you could call it, or a roller coaster, right? Let me know in the comment section. Mark your calendars. I might go next year. We'll see. I've been planning to visit NYC for a while. In general, visit I have family there, so why not? And so end of October, we have Swell next year's. They say here, Ripple, not only are we returning to New York, but we are also coming back bigger than ever and combining Swell and Apex to create a single unified event. Our community of builders, financial leaders, and industry partners will be together under one roof, creating an unforgettable experience. Save the date and look out for more event details in the new year. Okay. So hopefully we can get that, and maybe we can meet up in New York. We'll see. It will be very, very interesting to attend. I've been to one conference so far. I'm a very bad influencer, I know. You know, I've been in a war zone for the past few years, so that's that's stopped me from leaving. But I want to go to more and more conferences in the next coming years. By the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, now's the time to do so. Subscription is very important. That way you don't miss out. And I'm always on your subscription feed, and YouTube understands that you like my content, you want my content. And ring the bell for extra credit so you get notifications about new videos that drop. And the easiest way to support the channel is to drop a comment or smash the like button. But if you also want to support the channel, we do have our partners here. And if you are interested, we have BTCC. You can sign up using my link. If you're already trading, if you're already leverage trading, if you use my link, I will get a commission. So that's just another way that you can support the channel. But please trade responsibly, okay? There's a lot of opportunities, but the market can also be very, very unforgiving. So again, please trade responsibly. And again, I will get a commission. So thank you for that. So interesting update here from the Fed. US Treasury just bought back 12.5 billion of its own debt, the largest buyback ever in its history. Debt buybacks bring bond yields lower. This makes borrowing easier and provides liquidity support. The Fed is also starting its T-bill buying today, which will help add liquidity into the system. The only major fear is the Bank of Japan interest rate decision. And if no hike happens, the crypto market could get Santa rally. So that's going to be what we're watching right now. Remember, we talked a lot about Japan and the effect that they've been having on the crypto market over the past, basically since last August. So I don't know, is that a year and a half, right? And since they first raised interest rates from it. I think it was like negative or zero, and they raised it, and then that kind of caused the effect where Japanese investors freaked out. They started selling everything, and we had that carry trade freak out that people thought it was the end of the world. I remember, my uncle was visiting from the U.S. And we were sitting at my sister's house, and the markets were down like bad, right, real bad. And I was sitting next to my dad, and I said, "You know what? Don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. What's going on?" Because it was like April, February, March, April, when the tariffs were happening, that was also bad. That was bad too. And of course, it bounced off of that. It rallied off of that because it was, fake fear. And that's what we have sometimes. And so we have to remember that there's a lot of fake fear. There's a lot of reactions to things that happen. And those historically have been opportunities. Is to just a question how you approach that and how you do, you think about those zones. Okay, so that's just very, very important. And for this, the more money theoretically that is entering the market, the better for the crypto market. So we'll see again how that plays out. We also saw the CFTC announcing withdrawal of outdated crypto guidance. So I asked Grok here to help me a little bit. It says here, this refers to the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, officially withdrawing Staff Advisory 2034, a 2020 guidance that imposed restrictions on future commission merchants, FCMs, and derivatives clearing organizations, DCOs, accepting virtual currencies like Bitcoin as customer collateral in derivative markets. The withdrawal is effective immediately and is part of a broader regulatory update under the recently enacted Genius Act, which aims to modernize rules for digital assets. The move is generally viewed as bullish for crypto as it removes outdated barriers and aligns with new CFTC pilot program allowing tokenized digital assets to be used as collateral in regulated derivatives trading. This could facilitate greater institutional adoption by enabling more efficient use of crypto in traditional finance systems, though it doesn't change core custody requirements for non-cash collaterals. So again, another thing that could help the crypto market, another restriction that is removed, another weight that is weighing down or was weighing down the crypto market is removed. And all these things, they are things that could potentially help with the entrance of big money, right? Because big money doesn't like all these uncertainties, all these restrictions on them, right? They like places where it's easy, where they know that there's, when someone does a business plan or they're doing an investment plan, big companies, they make, like how much there's the potential profit, what are the profit margins, what are the expense, what are the risks, right? And so the risks, they have less risks, and there's more probability for higher profit, all right? And so that's why big money would be excited about this. Now, again, everything we talked about in this video is only my opinions. It's only or opinions that I agree with and with other people's, but ones that I agree with. And this video is only for educational purposes, entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me any money. Those are scammers. Please be very careful out there. I will never DM you. I will never befriend you just because, those are that's the tactics that they use. So just be very careful out there. We've been successful to removing a lot of them, but still, they pop up and I don't even know that they exist until it's sometimes too late. So just be very, very careful. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.